What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the One Leg Loser podcast. As you can see, I'm outside right now alongside my brother Jay, the producer. I want to welcome you guys to the episode of the week. Yes, I'm outside. It's nice in Massachusetts. Jay, what's going on over there in sunny South Florida?
Nah, chilling, baby, chilling. It's kind of, bro. It's hot as hell down here, man. It's so freaking hot. I was outside, man. I was out there in Cameron was playing his football game, bro. I forgot my chair, so I'm out there standing. I'm just, yeah, think I'm about to catch a heat stroke and shit. It was so damn hot out there.
Oh man, you guys,
I,
no
I
shade, no
look pretty
winds, no
red,
nothing.
shit. I look pretty
Yeah,
red.
you look like you've been outside slaving.
Yeah, I mean, I got a haircut too, but then my barber, he was like all up in there, like. But anyways, nah, everything good, bro. Ain't no complaints. Life is lovely, bro. Life is lovely.
That's beautiful.
It's
How
gotta be
how
nice
Jay,
over
how did?
there. Shit, you out here enjoying the weather over there.
Oh yeah, man, we enjoying the outside right now. Got a little cigar blowing. Long day
I
today.
seen that.
We're here with the people, trying to enjoy a little doing
E-
our
e-
episode for the week.
educate the people a little bit. What you got? What you got? What is that?
Now this is a La Roma de Cuba. It's a cigar. It's nothing fancy. Just a cigar, nice mild cigar. Just trying to decompress for the day. It's been a long week. Uh, I mean, I know we're not into the topic, but rookie mini camps over the weekend. We can maybe touch a little bit on that throughout the episode today. But man, we just want to come on here and just talk to the people and just give a little bit of what's been going on around the NFL, the sports world, and we got a special edition for you guys, and we'll talk on those topics shortly, right?
Yeah, for sure. Before we do get started, Jay the producer, this humble apologies. I had the whole thing going on, graphics, this, man. Some of my best work, to be honest with you. I showed Rick before we got started here. He was like, "Man, that shit look like next level." I was proud of myself, but now it's not working. So damn, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get it for y'all next week, especially for the season release, for the NFL's release schedule, which I'm so excited for. Gonna finally pinpoint where I'm headed this year. So yeah, man, it should be exciting. But sorry, I got no graphics for you guys today.
Listen, man, all we need is great conversation and good people. And you guys that are watching us and tuning into us, that's what we do it for. We're here to provide information, here to just have a good time and kick it with the good folks on YouTube. You know.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so our first topic, we were going to talk about Pickens to Dallas. That's a very big move there by Jerry Jones. He usually doesn't make these kind of moves. He's usually
Hmm.
very conservative. He had a last year he had a chance to pick up Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs that we all know in the league, and he decided he didn't want to pay him $8 million. Like if he's not
Hmm.
worth it, the guy's one a premier running back. But anyways, no, this is a big trade for them. It's going to definitely bolster Dallas's offense. Him and CeeDee Lamb, and hopefully Dak Prescott can stay relatively healthy this year. I know they lost Zach Martin on the line, so that's not going to be easy replacing a Hall of Famer like him. But when you got a dog in Pickens, you got CeeDee Lamb with a top five receiver in the league. You add a little running game to that, man. They can be a little explosive. They can be dangerous. The one thing that I don't that bothers me about Pickens, he's your typical wide receiver. He's the diva. He's the guy who when they say diva, that's him. He cries about not getting the ball, not being targeted. So I mean, I understandably, but at times, all the great ones do it. AJ Brown was moping around last season, by his little, reading his book, and then the next game he goes off, right? But like, I don't know, man. To me, I like a team player, and they just that doesn't seem like team player to me. I don't care about your talent. I just want team. That's why if Ramsey wants to go, kick rocks. That's why if Hill, I'm tired of Hill's nonsense. Kick rocks. I don't want to switch it up to make this Dolphins conversation. But
We'll get
like,
to that topic. We'll definitely get
yeah,
into
yeah.
that
But like,
point.
but my point is team player, and you know, listen, if as long as Pickens can keep it his head on straight, and obviously he gets targeted, I think he'll be fine. I think that's going to be an offense that the NFL is going to be scared. They're going to be scared of that offense right there for sure.
So I saw it break news when I was walking through my living room to my kitchen, right? And I noticed that that it flashed across ESPN when I saw it, right? And you saw that, the trade that went down. I did a little bit of reading. These talks have actually been going on since the NFL draft, and
Yeah,
even through the pro days, people were kind of murmuring back and forth. People were kind of talking about, hey, what would it cost for us to get Pickens and stuff forth? And then they say Khan, the Steelers GM, mentioned that it went pretty quick in regards to the call between Dallas and them. The good thing is that Khan did have a conversation with Pickens and his agent, which he's really good friends with and knows him pretty well. And yeah, no, to touch on what you were talking about, Jose, Pickens has been known to be that diva-esque wide receiver. And I think a little bit more than what most people like you hear about. Let me ask you this question though, Jose. Like, do you think like all wide receivers have a little bit of diva in them? Because I've heard this topic come around. Like, what do you
yeah,
think
yeah. Of
about this
course.
diva?
Yeah, of course. I think they're gonna, especially the great ones, right? You always gotta have a little diva in you because, it's always quarterback always touching the ball on every single down, and then you're running the ball more often than not, and then the running back is usually a lot of teams are by committee, but there's usually one or two backs there that constantly are getting the rock, 20 touches a game for the better running backs in the league. Wide receiver. That's how many wide receivers on each team. I know we hold about 6 to 7 wide receivers a year. So unless you're one of the greats like that and have a decent quarterback to throw you the ball, you're only going to get on average 5-6 targets. And then if you have a quarterback like Justin Fields last year and Russell Wilson who couldn't really move the ball, I mean, damn, I understand why he's a little bit talking about Pickens in particular. But yeah, I think your question was, yeah, most receivers, wide receivers, the great receivers they got a little diva in them, which is understandable. I see it.
Now let me ask you a question. Somebody like,
But one thing is having being a diva and manning the ball and this and all that. Another thing is causing penalties and disrupting team activities and getting in trouble and this and that, and maybe not getting in trouble per se, but like when the conversation is always about you and not about football, it's about off the field stuff.
yeah,
You know, that's my
yeah,
gripe with Pickens and those type of receivers, like Tyreek Hill, bro. Okay, anyways, go ahead.
we will get into that. Trust me, we'll get
Go
into
ahead,
the
go ahead, go
offense
ahead, go ahead.
corner. We will touch on that. But yeah, speaking of Pickens, in regards to how you mentioned, yeah, I mean, news reports came out that he showed up to practice even to the game about an hour late when he was supposed to
Yeah,
arrive at the game. The reason why I asked about these diva wide receivers, you hear people like the Larry Fitzgeralds of the world, right? You didn't ever really hear anything about Larry Fitzgerald coming out as becoming known as the diva or anything like that. Jerry Rice, you didn't hear much. But I do think that every wide receiver, I think what cures it all, in my opinion, is if you're winning. I think if you're winning ball games, I mean,
yeah,
listen, winning cures all. And again, I know
yeah. But
AJ
it didn't,
is the
it didn't, it
outlier.
didn't, it didn't cure it for AJ Brown. They won the game, and then the next, and he was moping and moping and moping, and then the next week he got 10 targets.
No,
I mean,
100%.
like, I think because now the conversation again, it's all about AJ Brown and this book, and hey, I'm pretty sure that guy who wrote the book he was so happy because I think the next day his sales blew up on Amazon or something like that. But
Mhm.
it's just ways to go about it, man. Like keep that shit internal. Talk to your guy on the sideline. Yo, this is blah blah. Talk to the coaches. But I don't like that type of diva. That's distracting to the team because now that's the whole conversation. It's not about X's and O's anymore. It's about that those type of distractions. I don't like. And yeah, I might sound like an old dude right now, like old school. I'm 43. I just like my players to be clean, man. That's all. I don't care
Mhm.
about your talent. Hard work and
So
clean. That's all I ask for.
so let's talk about what Pittsburgh got in return, right? According to reports, Pittsburgh got a third round pick and a sixth round pick, if I'm not mistaken, right? A third round for next year
Yeah.
and then a sixth rounder for 2027. Am I right?
I'm not exactly sure. I can that's nothing.
Yeah. Now, so if that, I mean, I'm sure that's the compensation. How do you feel about that compensation? What do you feel? Do you feel like who do you think maybe won
It's
that
not.
that
It's not.
trade?
It's, I mean, it's. I mean, I think fine. paid. Now Dallas has to turn around and pay the man. It wasn't like, he had a few years on his contract, this and that.
Mhm.
And that's one of the reasons why the Steelers traded him. On top of the fact that everything I just mentioned, all his antics, they were not about to pay George Pickens all the money that he may or may not be worth. Who knows? Who knows yet? Like, I know a lot of people say, he's this, he's that, but I haven't seen it. Granted, again, he's had Russell Wilson, an aging Russell Wilson. He's had Justin Fields, who's just going to throw the ball. If anyone know, I mean, just to run the ball. If anyone knows, what Justin Fields' style is, and in that type of offense, he wasn't going to flourish. Now you give him a top 15 quarterback in that, who's expected to do things because he has a huge contract. So all in all, it's a good trade. It's a better trade. So I think Dallas got the better end of it, as long as the man produces the way he's supposed to, because he's about to get paid. You see what I'm saying? So they clearly believe in him, and after giving him all the money they're about to give him, they clearly believe in him. So,
Here's my take. I think the Steelers may have won this trade. The reason why I say that now, granted, Pickens was slightly productive. I think he had over 900 yards last year, scored a couple of touchdowns, was the premier wide receiver in Pittsburgh. But we could all go back to the other dysfunctional wide receiver that came out of the Steelers, Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, man, is talented as could be. But in the same light, and I'm not comparing him in the sense that he's just as his antics are just as crazy as Antonio Brown, but the Steelers, I mean, they're a very savvy organization, right? They know they get cancers out of there. They get people out of there that just doesn't make sure. Something that I read in the article that Khan was saying was, he was like, there was some internal conversation within the Pittsburgh organization, and they just felt like it just wasn't fitting together between what Pittsburgh was and what they stand for, and maybe what Pickens is about. Like you mentioned, the antics, showing out. So in my opinion, I think maybe, I mean, again, only time will tell. I can see where maybe Pittsburgh got the upper hand. I mean, listen, Dallas, yes, if all works out on paper, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Pickens now. If Dak comes back healthy, it could be a good offense. But in my opinion, I think maybe in the long run, if Pickens continues in his ways and nobody controls that and nobody harnesses that energy that he has, it may go south pretty quick in Dallas. I mean, and again, that's just my take.
Right, no, that's 100% fact. That's why they better know what they're doing, especially they're about to pay him all this money, because you didn't trade him for 1 year. You didn't trade him this year for him to become a free agent and then he's gone. That makes no sense, right? So
100%.
You traded for him with the intent of paying him and for him to be there for the long haul. So yeah, like you said, on paper everything was great. Now can they harness that? Can they give him his targets? Hopefully Dak doesn't get injured. And I mean, Dak is, like I said, top 15 quarterback. I think he can get the job done. We'll see we'll see what happens with the offensive line, but only time will tell. You touched on Pittsburgh and their wide receivers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a bigger concern for Pittsburgh, they draft very, very well, right? We all know they draft linebackers very well. On the defense side, especially on the defense side, they draft very well. But they also draft extremely well at wide receiver. You mentioned AJ
100%.
Brown. What's the name? Not AJ. What's his first name?
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown. Man.
Antonio Brown.
AB. Yeah, AB. The guy who came to us, man, and we gave him all this money, and then he just busted on us up.
Well, not only you guys, the Raiders, Tampa Bay. I mean, AB, man, God bless him.
No,
man,
but I'm talking about the other wide receiver that Mike Wallace.
Didn't you guys get? Didn't you guys get Claypool too? I know I got Claypool. Didn't you guys get Claypool for a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. So, Claypool. He was supposed to be something nice. But anyways, Mike Wallace, Antonio Brown, now George Pickens. Why? Obviously, they're drafting well, but what is the disconnect with Tomlin or the wide receiver coach or something that all these huge talents they just leave? Or is Mike Tomlin like, all right, I squeeze it all I can get out of you. It's time for you to go. Like a Bill
Mm,
Belichick. He always cuts them right before their downfall, right? They just happen to know. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I don't know.
yeah.
Like it just seems like there's a disconnect there with wide receivers in Pittsburgh.
No, that's a great question. I mean, and that's a good insight. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, the one thing that we do know is that once they leave Pittsburgh, they kind of drop off for the most
Right.
part.
That's what I'm saying.
Um,
So it's
so
like I
do
said,
they
it's
have
like
some
that Bill
insight?
Belichick story.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So maybe they have this intuition, knowing like, hey, listen, man, this guy's not a good culture guy. He's not a good worth ethic guy. It's time to move on. Let's get what we can from him and move on. Because really, if you think about it, who's on the Steelers right now? Like, what does their wide receiver core look like right now as it stands? They're and again,
So
we'll go into that topip here shortly. Like,
yeah, DK. You got
yeah, you
DK
got
and they got little white Warren. I forgot.
yeah,
I don't keep
no,
up on my
hundred
students.
percent.
But no, listen, they don't have a quarterback yet. Like, what's going on with that?
Well, let's
Why is
let's go
Mike
into our
Tomlin allowing?
yeah.
Why is Mike Tomlin allowing this guy to do the same thing that he's done to numerous franchises? Why is he allowing this same thing to happen? What is with this whole Aaron Rodgers aura that he has? That he has all this control power over these teams, and it's like I understand the Jets, right? Because like that's a shitty organization. It's poorly run. They're just so they're so in the limelight because it's
Well, we lost Jay the producer. We'll continue here until he gets back. So I think where Jose was going on, guys, was he was talking about what's going on in Pittsburgh, right? That was going to be our next topic. Like, what's going on in Pittsburgh, right? So he was mentioning how they don't have a quarterback. They're in limbo. They had you know they had Justin Fields last year. They had Russell Wilson last year. And again, it was just a circus there trying to figure out who was the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And one thing that you have to question is what is Mike Tomlin? What's going on there? And that's what Jose was mentioning before we lost. And there you go. We got him back. We got him back. We got the man back. Hey, it's so hot in Miami right now that the connections of internet is steaming. They're boiling right now. The connections, it's hot. It's too
my
hot.
my my fiber optics are steaming right now.
They're
So it's
boiling right now.
so slow. Oh my god! Talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you
Talk to the
hear me out
people,
there?
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm here.
Yeah, we got you. I'm just.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
what
Go
what you
ahead. Go
were
ahead. Go ahead. Talk. Talk.
What Jose was saying is like, what's the situation in Pittsburgh, right? They're kind of in purgatory. Like people, we've talked about this before, where like they're not a shit show where they're like the bottom tier of, like, for example, like the Jets. They haven't been the Browns, but they're like not at the top either. I mean, I think they haven't passed the first round playoffs in a long time. And I'm talking about, you have a coach in Mike Tomlin who's revered in the NFL as a great coach. I really personally think, after just kind
That's
of sitting back and thinking about it, is in my opinion, I think, and again, it goes back to my Chicago Bears. They're stuck in an old way. They're not adapting to what the new NFL is. Pittsburgh is predicated on hard defense, but they're not building this elite offense like the juggernauts of being. And I think they're just stuck in their old ways. And until there's not a change at guard and an evolution, I think Pittsburgh is just going to be the middle of the pack, top tier, getting into the playoffs. They're always going to be in the mix. But again, until they don't get another quarterback, and again, can Aaron Rodgers show up there, Jose? I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the next quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
no. I mean, all signs point to that, right? All signs point to that. So back to my point a little bit.
Hmm.
I just don't understand how Tomlin is allowing all this, man. Such a powerful name in the sport, right? In the league, to just be being toyed around by this guy, Aaron Rodgers. I might come, I might not. I'm still in the darkness. I'm still fucking doing ayahuasca. Like, bro, are you playing football or not?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous to me, man. I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh fans are they don't know what the hell is going on. Like, it's got to be they're in shambles, right? But anyways, is he good enough to come in there and take him somewhere? They might have a decent season because of their defense is always going to be good. You know, Pittsburgh's defense is always going to be top notch. That's going to be a hell of a division, though. That's going to be a hell of a fight in there. You know,
Mm.
even the Browns might make a little bit of noise. You know,
Hey, listen, man.
but you got the juggernaut in Baltimore. You got another juggernaut in Cincinnati. If they can play a little bit of defense, just a slight bit of defense, they also can win the division. And then you know what I'm saying. So it's gonna be tough. And now they're talking about bringing in Lazard. Like, what is happening, man?
Like,
What? This is not Green Bay 2000, man. Like, or
this is
whatever
not
the hell
Green Bay. This is not Green Bay 3.0, man. This is listen. That's over
Yeah,
with, man.
man.
It's time to again.
Over
That's
with. Let it go.
that
So
that goes to my point. Like I think Pittsburgh is stuck in their old ways. They want the steel curtain. They want defense. And today's NFL is about how many points can you put up, brother? How much can you go? Yes, the trenches and the Eagles won, but I mean, listen, you got to put up points, man, to be able to win in the NFL today. And I just really think, in my opinion, I just think they're kind of stuck in that space where they haven't had a quarterback since Roethlisberger. They're just, and again, how many Super Bowls did Roethlisberger really win? Was it one? I think it was just one Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I think he just got one. Yeah,
So
yeah,
listen, man. I
yeah.
mean,
He ain't getting much.
yes. Again, listen. In the grand scheme of things, Pittsburgh is an iconic franchise. I won't take that away from them. But let's be honest, man. Like, I mean, they're not. It's not like they've been in the mix year in and year out for the last 5, 10 years, man. It's they haven't since 2020,
Right.
2022. It's just been. Yeah, they're just. I think they're being revered based upon their past and their name. I think they're just getting that pass because of the name and who they are. But I mean, Tomlin, how much more longer is Pittsburgh going to hold on to that? Oh, one more year. Can we make it this year? Is it this year? Can it be the last? I don't know, man. I mean, Pittsburgh is
Right.
definitely in an interesting spot right now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Hey, more power to them. There. Hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully now I don't give a crap as long as the Dolphins figure it out. So yeah,
Well,
so rookie minicamp started this week. Tell me a little bit about what's going on in Bears country.
well, Bears country. I mean, I think things are going. I mean, again, it's all rookie minicamp. I love what new head coach Ben Johnson said. Listen, you're not going to go up in a depth charts in rookie minicamp. I mean, it's there's no pads, there's nothing going on. But I mean, what I really am enjoying is the interviews that these coaches and these players are giving out. You can see that they're excited to be there. You can see that they're fun. Their energy's up. Again, can you really get much out of it, man? It's not a lot, but I am enjoying the interviews. I am enjoying hearing things coming out of them. We got Luther Burden from Missouri, our wide receiver, second round. You know, we got Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan. Our big 6'8" left tackle that hopefully is going to be the left tackle from Boston College, Chirillo. You got a seventh round running back from Rutgers. What I really enjoyed was I saw a video of the rookie minicamp, and you could see Bienemy. Listen, in Bears camp, in Bears world, it's the good old boys. In the sense, you don't hear a lot of cursing. It's even in Hard Knocks, words came out that the owner George McCaskey didn't want any cursing coming out in the videos. And sure enough, in rookie minicamp,
Oh,
you can hear
really?
Bill Benemy giving you the F bombs all over the place, telling Matt, keep your head up. This is what we got to do. And I'm really enjoying that because I think it's a different culture. And I think that's where we go back to what they were talking about with the Pittsburgh. They're just stuck in the old ways. And I think Chicago may be turning a corner with a different environment in the way that we're going to be doing things. So it's exciting. But not from
Yeah,
Bears country. What's going on over there in Dolphins camp? What have you been seeing? What have you been hearing, Jose?
not much, not much, man, not much. Just again, it's just mini cap. It's just to get all the players acclimated, show them the facility. It's ain't no work going on. But one thing that I did find interesting, and I actually really loved about my team as a whole, some of our veterans and second year players showed up. Usually, you don't get that in mandatory rookie minicamp. So some of my, like I said, some of my second year players, my soon to be starting left tackle showed up and just welcome them in the team. And I love that that those little things bring teams together, and you gel faster, and it shows that you care, and it shows that you're willing to put in the work and the time and the effort to make this something. So that was my big takeaway from this mini camp. And man, I was again not much happened, but that right there did definitely brought a smile to my face, for sure, for sure, for sure.
It shows you that
The com-
they're trying to gel, right? They're trying to get together. The
right, that's
second
what
year
I'm saying. Yeah,
guys, they're
yes,
trying to
yeah,
support the young guys, and like you said, right? They're trying to really um, just build a culture over there. That's I think that's what the key
yeah,
word is for most franchises right now.
100%, 100%. So yeah, man. So I mean, that's pretty much our NFL time right now, I guess, if you want, however you want to call it. Let's get into a little basketball. Let's get into a little basketball here. I know. Again, sorry guys. We were supposed to drop yesterday around Friday around 8 p.m. We didn't. Some things came up for us, but we're here. We're here now. We were going to talk about the Celtics being down 0-2, but as we all know, they just kicked the crap out of the out of the Knicks right now. So it's 1-2, 1-2 Boston, and I truly think that Boston finds a way to take this series back. They win next time, and I think they close it out 4-2. Um, I think they're just a better overall team, from head to toe. So yeah, I just think they figured out they're the champs, man. They're the world champs. They're not gonna go down like that. But the main thing I wanted to touch on, as far as the NBA is a snooze fest, bro. It is a
Mm.
snooze fest. I tried to watch the games last night. It's unwatchable, bro. I don't know who sits there and watches this sport. If they're not throwing number three, right? If it's not a 3-point shot, because everything is. If it's not a 3-point shot, they drive to the basket and it's a foul. It's like you hear a whistle every single time down the court. Or if not, they're chucking them to three. They get a rebound, toss it out, three. They get a rebound, toss it out, three. They go, two, free throws. Run down the court, three. Bro, everybody's shooting threes. Me, my grandma, my mom, the 7-footers, 6-footers, everyone's shooting threes. This shit is crazy boring. I feel like there's no superstars. I didn't see, yes, Brunson and bro. I mean, particularly last night, SGA, Jokic, Murray. These guys don't look like superstars to me, man. How is a team with Jokic on there getting blown out by 50 points, bro? Just
So
ridiculous.
I'm glad you
It's
mentioned
game
that.
conference. Whoever makes the most threes wins the game. That's it.
I think that's it. Listen, I think you're right in the sense of, yeah. Listen, we all know that the NBA, the viewing has gone down. Like you can't even compare the NFL to the NBA. It's like night and day.
No
It's
comparison,
been
bro.
it's been going down over the years. At the end, I think it's just again, I'm not going to blame the Euro basketball, but it's literally turned into Euro basketball. This is what the Euro
Bro, I'm
League
blaming Curry.
was.
I blame Steve Curry. I blame Steph Curry. Dude, that's it.
Uh,
All these young kids grew up watching Steph shooting bombs from 40 feet,
yeah.
and everyone thinks they can do that now. Bro, only one person can do that, and that's Steph Curry. Like, you're not Steph Curry.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's it.
just think it's again, I just think it's going to be difficult for the NBA to be captivated. I mean, there hasn't really been a like listen, with all due again, and not trying to get into this topic so much more because I don't want to touch on it, but even LeBron, right? LeBron came into the league. I don't think there has been a catalyst that's taking the NBA to the next level. Now, could it be because of social media and so much access? I don't know what the answer is, but I don't see in the near future who the next megastar is going to be. There's just too many
I don't see
guys
him.
out there. I don't know what's going to happen with the I don't. It's going to continue to keep going. It's going to grow. It's going to be to the growth pains.
Who's the face of the league in your opinion right now? Who's the face of the league?
Listen, man,
Because
you
word on the
got
street is the face of the league is Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum.
fuck, dude. You got
Jason
Jason
Tatum to
Tatum.
me.
What?
Jason Tatum to me is very, very talented, bro. Immensely talented.
Amazing,
He's a
talented.
champion, bro. He's a champion. Does this guy change the game in any way? Does he
Listen,
do anything special? Because I
listen.
don't see
It goes back, and I know
Maybe
this
I
is
just
one
don't know the
topic.
game. Maybe I just
No,
don't know
no,
the
no, no,
game.
no, 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 no. I think you're hitting something there. I think this goes back to the one. I think society is changing in regards to being very PC. Like I don't know if you've heard what's going on with this guy from the Warriors, where they called him for flagrant and the technical and whatever the case may be. But I
Draymond
don't.
Green?
Yeah, there's like a whole thing
Mhm.
going on that whatever. But I think just society in general, um, we're mixing society and sports in one. All right, and I think it's getting too politically correct within the sport. And the point that I'm getting at is there's not like a killer out there. There's not a Kobe Bryant out there that's out there to murder you and take your soul. There's not again, not to refer back to Michael Jordan. There's not a black Jesus or the black cat out there that every night you're gonna play him. You waking up with sweats because you know you got to play this man the next day. There's just not that figure in the NBA anymore. There's not that villain. There's not that guy that everybody's afraid of. Everybody in the NBA right now is trying to be kumbaya. It's literally. Listen, everybody's riding a banana boat
Michael
on the off
Jordan the
season.
next day.
Well, nah. What do you mean? Why are you laughing?
People are waking up with sweats, bro, because they got to face Michael Jordan the next day.
There's been countless interviews by ex-players that is about vouch for this. You can laugh all you want about what I'm saying, but it's true because the guys that have played with him have told you this, and you can go back and verify it. Right now, it's about a banana boat. Everybody's trying to get to Cancun and ride a banana boat with
this
the
man,
cat.
bro. He ain't do nothing to you.
Who?
How many people?
What are you talking about? I haven't.
How many people have been on other excursions and shit? But you want to mention LeBron's banana boat?
I didn't mention a man's name at all. I didn't mention anything about a man's
name. We all
name.
know what you talking about when you say banana boat in the NBA. We all know that. Come on, man.
Can that have been the beginning of the? Can that have been the beginning of the downfall of the NBA? I don't know. I never said
the downfall of the NBA.
I never said LeBron is responsible. What I'm saying is the NBA right now is too kumbaya. Everybody's trying to be cool with each other, and again, adding to what's on the court where everybody's just chucking up threes. It's not helping the sport in the long run, man. I think the NBA is literally just. I'm watching the games, but like you said, it's just like, where's this going to end up at? Where's this going? Where's the next superstar that's going to take over the league? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think the problem that the NBA has that the NFL doesn't have. The NFL prides itself on damn. I just had the word in my mind on parity, not parity. All teams being equal, right? As much as possible, right? All teams being equal as much as possible. That way you don't see, unless it's a fluky game, 70-10, right? You don't see that ever, right? There's a reason why no NFL teams don't score that many points, because these teams at the end of the day, yes, obviously some teams are better than others. Some teams have more superstars than others. I get that, but coaching and fundamentals and everything, culture, right? You can have a crappy team, but they're gonna still come out and compete and fight, right? And I think that's one of the problems that the NBA has. These games are boring. Like, there's no close game. Like, look at just now. Who is gonna sit there and watch, unless you're a Boston fan or a Knicks fan, is gonna watch a 30-point Drummond? Who is gonna watch that? Who wants to see Pritchard? Hey, God bless him. He went off today. I think he had like 20-some points. He had a bunch of threes off the bench.
Sixth man of the year, right? I think he's been the sixth man of the year.
Yes. Sixth man of the year. God bless him. He did his thing. but no one is tuning in to watch you, brother. I'm sorry. Like, and I know he knows this stuff, but it's. I'm not saying nothing out of pocket here. It's just what it is, right? And then these 30-point blowouts are boring. Who wants to
Li-
watch that?
Listen, it all goes back to again, the NBA has evolved. I'm not
It's
gonna
just
call them
going
soft.
backwards.
I'm not gonna call them soft because again, I'm sure if Draymond Green is here standing in front of me, he can whoop my ass. So again, I'm not calling the NBA
I take a,
soft.
I would Draymond, bro. I would
Well,
Draymond.
listen, kudos to you. What I'm saying is, it's definitely evolved from what it was in the 80s and 90s to where it is now. Can you add society to that in the way that these kids are growing up, where everything is like you said, the Steph Curry, the throw from half court. There's no, the big man's not important anymore. It's about the guys that can fucking get out there and shoot threes in the perimeter. You don't see guys taking it to the hole. You don't see the
Nah,
fights going.
not at all.
It's a different NBA, man. Like you look at these
You got,
kids now. When I watch them, it's like that's an NBA player. Where the motherfuckers that getting drunk the night before? What the motherfuckers that are just like they're coming in there with a little bit of. And again, I'm not condoning drug use and
you're
stuff
not
like.
actually condoning that, are you?
I'm not condoning it, but I'm talking about where are the bad dudes? Where are the motherfuckers
No,
that are gonna come in there?
you don't need that, bro, for the NBA to be
But listen,
a
that's when the NBA
watchable
was
sport.
fun. But that's when the
Nah,
NBA was fun, Jose.
man, nah. What you need is that one. I don't know.
No,
I don't know what you need because every big man out there is a shooter now, right? There's no big man that's just a big man, right? The
no,
last
man, it's
big
not.
man we
No,
got, well, we got Jokic, and even no, yeah. I mean, there's no true big man. I
but
mean, I guess you
Jokic is
got Joel
perimeter.
Embiid, but he's
Jokic,
soft as hell. He doesn't play.
Jokic is throwing
Right,
up,
right. That's what I'm
chucking the
saying. They're still in
threes.
the perimeter.
Jokic is
Right.
throwing up,
Yeah, I
chucking the
think he
threes.
shot about seven of the motherfuckers last night. So it's
Yes.
ridiculous, man. There's no Patrick Ewing, bro. There's no Rick
No.
Smith for all you
There's no
Indiana fans.
Duncan.
There's
There's no
no
Duncan in
Duncan. There's
there.
no Shaq.
There's no
There's
Shaq.
no true center, bro. David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon. I could go on forever, right? There's none of that. And on top of that, there's no mid range game. I'm telling
No.
you, it's either a layup because they're not
Or
playing
Euro step.
defense,
It's a Euro
or a Euro
step.
step, or a three. There's no midi. There's nobody with a midi. There's none of that. It's to me, this game is ball.
Again,
Sorry.
it has evolved to a spot where I don't know where it's going. I don't know where
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna
have no.
end
Yeah,
up
but
at.
to me, it's only going to get worse. You got Wemby, right? Great, he's great talent. Dude's about 7'4". He's over there shooting threes, dribbling between the legs.
But the
Bro, take
guy's
it to
like a
the rack,
stick.
man.
The
Right,
guy
take it
looks
to
like
the
a
rack.
guy that.
Dunk on somebody's head, bro. What you doing out here, man?
Yeah,
Bro,
man.
it's
Listen,
ridiculous.
man.
It's ridiculous. It's
It,
ridiculous.
it, it, it's changing, man. Listen, you hear the stories of Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett talking that shit. Bitch, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, yeah.
Where is that? Where is that fire? Where is that? Where is that? Bitch, I'm gonna beat your ass. Where is that? It's not
Yeah.
there right
Well,
now.
you know
I'm
what?
not saying.
Ant-Man has a little bit of it, right?
Oh yes.
I was listening on one of another podcast here, and then he was interviewing, and he was like, "That's how he is, right? On the court, nah, bro, it's mano a mano. I don't care who you are." You saw how he was taking it to LeBron, right? He was pushing him, he was shoving him, he was trying to get in his head, he was doing all that, right? So he's got that. He's got that mentality. Now I
Mhm.
don't know how great he is yet. I don't know that. A lot of people are saying he's the next one, but I don't quite see it yet. But maybe. But he does have the mentality that it takes, right? Because again, I'm back to my point. He said between on that court, I don't care who you are, man. I'm going at you, and I'm gonna just take it out everything on you. I don't know you. Off the court, all right, we can be boys, be friends, which is cool, bro. Like I'm not saying, yo, you gotta hate the man forever and never go to a barbecue with him. That's fine. But I can't have you. It's got to be black and white. On the court, I don't know you. You my enemy. Off the court, let's either kielbasa or kielbasa or something like that. Let's just do that. But yeah, that's how the NBA is nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
man.
man.
So,
It's definitely changed. But listen, Boston won tonight, so the series 2-1. But listen, what I do really enjoy is the old school. I'm really enjoying the New York Knicks Boston Celtics series. listen, when teams like that are playing in the finals, the New York Knicks, the Boston Celtics, um, you could throw a couple other franchises in there. The Lakers are playing in the. That's what the NBA is. That's when the NBA thrives, when these teams play, just like the NFL. When, again, not trying to throw my Chicago Bears in there, but when, believe it or not, if Chicago is winning, that helps the NFL because that's one of the charter franchises that really people are in tune to stuff like that. So again, I'm glad to see that the Knicks are in the mix. And I mean, I'm rooting for the Knicks, man. Listen, I might be in Massachusetts, but guess what? I'm rooting for New York Knicks right now to win that. To win
Uh,
that.
that's it's again, man. Like I definitely understand the nostalgia of things, and when this historic franchises are in the playoffs, they're in the mix, they're good, all that good stuff. It's great for the NBA. It's a good look. That's how you definitely attract more, a bigger audience. But at the same time, when these games they're not competitive at all, that makes it boring to me. Like again, back to my point, I don't want to sit there and watch a 30-point drumming. Like that's ridiculous. But anyways, yeah, you good, bro?
I'm 100%, man. Sorry,
Take care,
client was
little
texting me.
show.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen, client was texting me, but I'm tuned in. I'm in with us. I'm in with
he,
us. Don't
he
worry.
locked in. He locked in.
I'm like
Yeah.
Schefter. I'm getting news. I'm getting news right now. I'm Schefter right now. Getting some breaking
We're on the
news.
clock. We're on the clock. We're on the clock. So yeah. So let's get into a few stories. You want to bring it up, Rick? Go ahead and introduce the story.
Well, listen, but no, but
This past
tell
weekend.
me what, but tell me what the segment is. Let's break into segment. What is the segment, Jose? What did you name this segment? What is the segment called?
Oh, it's just something simple. This past week, I mean, we're gonna
Okay,
talk. We're gonna pull out. Huh?
pull out. Pause. Oh, this
We're
guy
gonna
said
put
pull out.
we're gonna put out some interesting stories, that we came across this past week, and have a little chat about it. Hopefully, you guys chime
Mm,
in, let us know what you think. Tell
yeah.
me how right I am about my opinion, and then we'll go from there.
100%. So, like Jose said, we're gonna pull a random story that's popular in the news, or it could be from anywhere, and we're just gonna debate and have a little conversation about it. Maybe we agree on the opinion, maybe me and Jose don't. So, the topic that I brought up to Jose is very something that's going on right now. Everybody knows about it. Is a gentleman that allegedly, well, not allegedly because they caught him, and I think he's on video, but he ran over a police officer in Ohio because the day before, I believe it's a day before, if I'm not mistaken, the reports say that his son was shot by a police officer um, and killed. So the next day, the dad um, sought revenge and killed this other officer. So that's the gist of the story. Now we could go into details. Jose, I'm not sure if you've read up on it, but we could kind of go into a little bit of details. But just
No,
over
go ahead.
like
I mean, I didn't have that much time to be honest with you, but
so
just tell the people.
so I'll fill it in. So the son the day before was the police pulled up to this vehicle. It was a stolen vehicle out of Kentucky, and when they pulled up to the vehicle, people fled from the scene. Now, camera shows that the man's son did flee from the vehicle. There was a gun in the video, but it wasn't being pointed at the officer. He was running with the gun, but he was running away from the cop. And at that point, the officer decided to pull out his weapon and fire and shoot the man in the again. He did shoot him in the back. I'm not saying that he shot him in the back because whatever. He ended up shooting the suspect, shot him in the back as the suspect was running away. And again, his reason was the guy was armed and he shot him. The following day, the father, again, the police officer that he killed or ran over was actually a retired deputy. He came back because I guess he just wants to stay, active, and he does like some details. And I think he was kind of directing traffic, and the father, again, from the anger or whatever the case may be, revenge or rage, ran over that cop, and ended up subsiding and dying from the injuries. So that's as far as much as I know of the story. I don't know if you guys have any more details, but that's the gist of it. Jose, tell me, what do you think
Yeah,
of it? What are your initial thoughts?
yeah. That's pretty much what I got from the story. That I did read a little bit up on it. Listen, man. At the end of the day, it's highly unfortunate, and that day, well, in those few days, we lost 3 lives. You know, three. You know, we lost 3 lives, right? From my understanding, cops are not supposed to shoot when at a suspect when they're fleeing, when they're running away from them, right? When they're fleeing the scene, yada yada.
Yeah.
So that's mistake number one, clearly, right? To shoot this young man in the back. If the gun was being pointed at you, hey man, don't point guns at cops because you will get shot, and most likely you're gonna die, right? But if that's
100%.
not the case, and from what I'm reading, he was running away. That guy, that cop should be charged. He should be charged with something. He shouldn't be able to just get, be let go like that off the hook, because he, again, from my understanding, he didn't follow protocol. That's not protocol. Now let's take it back to on the other side, the flip side, the dad, right? Yes, I would be extremely outraged. I would be this. I would be every word under the book. I would be so frustrated. I couldn't even fathom, what that man was going through, knowing what he knows, right? One, that his son is dead, shot by a cop wrongfully, right? Because he was, again, if he was fleeing the cop, he was running away from the cop. You shouldn't shoot him. It's like, you can shoot you can shoot an intruder, right? But that if that intruder is running away, you cannot shoot him anymore. He's not a threat to you anymore. So there's no reason for you to shoot at him. So and I understand all those emotions going through this man's heads and through his head, right? But to go and then take another innocent man's life, a father, a grandfather, a husband, that's another tragedy. And now you're going to jail for life. Your family now lost your son. Your mom lost her grandson. Now she's losing her son to life in prison. And then the cop, the deputy, it's a fucked up situation, man. It's a fucked up situation. And my heart goes out to all of them, man, because that's a crazy spot to be in, to be put in. And hopefully that never happens again, man. But I don't agree with the man's actions. I don't agree with that. But also can't tell you what I feel. What I would feel if, God forbid, something like that happens. I don't know what I would tell you. What I would do. I don't know. I don't know. So I can't judge him. All I can say is, from right now, this point, today, Saturday at 7:00, I probably wouldn't do that. But I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
No, listen, again, like you said, I think it's tragedy on all ends. I don't think nobody wins here. But I think, kind of looking at it from just reading the comments and watching through the videos, I think there's a part of society that thinks that there's a victor here. And what I mean by that is, I've been reading a lot of comments because I want to get a feel. I don't not only just watch the story, but I want to see what the public is saying, because I want to get a gauge for what people are saying. And there was a good amount of comments that I was reading, and they were saying, like, this is...
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think we lost Rick. We lost Rick. Yo, today has been a sloppy episode on our end, folks. I am so sorry. I apologize for that. Give us a second here while we hopefully get Rick back on the line. He was going to explain us some very details about, word on the street and the comments, and what's going on with this tragic story. Give me a second here, trying to get Rick back. Oh my God, what an episode! What a shit show of an episode. That's all right. Next week we'll be back. We'll be back better than ever. We'll definitely be getting popping. Let me try to send this man another link here. My internet is buns today, man. Buns. Sorry, guys. Oh, he's back, y'all.
I apologize. My computer died.
Back.
It's so it's unprofessional of me. I apologize. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
Okay. So let me finish my statement here. So I was reading a lot of the comments, and a lot of people were mentioning that, this is kind of, and it's sad that we have to have these kind of conversations in society. But some people were kind of on the line of where, like, I'm glad that he did that. The father, I'm speaking of the father, that he did that, because that maybe teaches the police officers that, hey, if again, an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth, right? If you kill one of us, we're gonna kill one of you. Which again, I don't subscribe to that theory, that theology, but I've seen a good amount of comments going that way, which is a scary thing for me. But no, I agree with you, Jose. I don't think there's any winners here. Again, that police officer that got killed by the father of the son that got the son got gunned down. I mean, I don't know. You know, he was just doing his job at that particular moment, right? And he was a retired police officer or sheriff's, and I mean, just it's tragic on all ends. But I'm actually pretty not surprised, but I'm interested about your take on it. I would have thought, knowing you now, if you guys want to know a little bit about me and Jose, we've been best friends. We're friends for a long time. And Jose's always been very, I mean, listen, man, right is right, right is wrong. And I'm pretty surprised that you're even open to like, well, he shouldn't have shot the guy. I'm surprised. I mean, can you enlighten me a little bit about where your take was on that?
I mean, listen. Well, you said it. You said it. I couldn't have said it any better. Right is right, wrong is wrong. I'm always gonna stand by that, whether the opinion is popular or not. I have my opinion, just like Rick has an opinion, just like you have an opinion, just like you have an opinion, right? My opinion is right and wrong. This shit was it was a chain of events by one wrongdoing. The cop decided to shoot a fleeing suspect. If he does not shoot this guy, if he does not shoot this guy, if he somehow if the poor kid doesn't die, how about that? I mean, I don't think the dad goes out and does what he does, right? So
I don't think either. I don't think that would have happened either.
I mean, I don't know the man, but I don't think. I mean, damn, he'd be frustrated, right? You shot my son, and he'd probably be looking for a lawsuit more than revenge, right? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
The cop, man, cops have this immense responsibility in society. They have to, if anyone's going to do the right thing, it has to be them. That's why we empower them. That's why we trust in them. That's why I trust in them, for them to do the right thing. And all that's all we're asking is do the right thing. There's no reason. And I mean, we'll probably get more details as things progress in this story. But like from what everyone's initially seeing and hearing, there was no reason to shoot this man. Yes, he stole the car, whatever. He was not a threat to you. He should not have been shot. He should not have been shot.
Can I play the devil advocate here for a second before we wrap up here, though, just to kind of just talk up here?
Oh.
Again, we're all as a society looking at this, and we can relate this to football in the sense of when we're talking about a bang bang play, right? Things are moving so fast, and we're talking about the refs like, yo, we're looking at it from a lens of replay, slow motion. We're able to sit back and analyze the film. No, hold on. Let me finish. Okay, let me finish my say. I think you know where I'm going with this. Again, and I'm not defending the police officer at all. But what I'm saying is, again, with things moving so fast, I mean, you can see the gun clearly in the video from when they're playing it. Again, do I believe that the cop did it intentionally? I don't know, man. Listen, I know there's a lot of bad apples out there, but could there have been just like a moment of like, bang, bang, things are moving fast? And I get it. Cops, they're held to the most high standard because, again, they hold life and death literally in people's hands. They could change your life from one moment to another, whether it's a ticket, whether it's going to jail, or worst case scenario, whether you losing your life. So yes, they have a big spectrum that they hold in their hands. But man, could there have been like any chance that he saw something that really wasn't there and did something that maybe he wouldn't have done if he would have? I mean, just I don't know, man. It's a tragic thing.
Right, for sure. But to me, it's open and shut. It's open and shut. Right?
Okay.
Listen, I can have a hand grenade here, I can have a bazooka on my back, I have a gun on my hip, I can have knives coming out of everywhere, right? If I'm running away from you, I am not a threat to you. I
Amen.
am not a threat.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a true Floridian. That is a true Floridian speaking there. I can hold a gun in my hip.
But isn't that the law, right? The rule. If I'm running,
well, I think every state is a little bit different, Jose. There's some say, like in Florida, if you're going fishing and hunting, you're allowed to display a firearm in public. Like, let's say when you go fishing with the family, right, and you go to the little pier, you're technically allowed to, as long as you have your fishing license, which is not a big thing, you can literally display a handgun on your hip, or you could actually put an AR-15 around your shoulder while you're fishing.
So should I just shoot this man?
No. What I'm saying is, your question was, isn't this the same for all across the country? No. Like Massachusetts is a very strict gun state. You can't do this. If I'm going whatever, to my knowledge, I can't display a firearm. There's states in the United States where you could carry openly and show your gun and be able to walk around freely. Like in Texas, if I'm not mistaken, Texas, you can walk around with your gun on your hip. There's some states that you have to keep it concealed. There's a lot of different rules for different states. So every state's a little bit different than others. But no, I agree with you in that aspect that the kid was running away, and now let's see how it plays out, man. Hopefully it doesn't turn into more than the incident and it turns into a big thing. But definitely something that was on the news and that was a big topic for this week.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I mean you're totally right about different states having different laws, but you kind of switched it a little bit, right? You were saying about conceal, open, whatever, carrying open, whatever, blah blah. I mean that's not what I'm particularly talking about, and it has to be. I mean, it has to be worldwide, where it's like you can't shoot the dude because he's running away. I mean, that has to be something. I mean, it got to be something, because at the end of the day,
I don't know about worldwide. You go to Afghanistan and you talk to them people over there. I don't know if they got rules. Nationwide. Yeah.
My point is, if he wasn't being threatened, immediately threatened, by a gun, he shouldn't have shot.
I think at the end of the day, that's the gist of it. Now some parts of the country and some people in the population are going to say, I don't want to say the kid got what he deserved, but I've seen some comments that was very narrow-minded, in my opinion, about the topic.
I'm with that part too. Listen, it wasn't a wrong place, wrong time type of deal. The man was committing a crime.
Yeah,
was committing a crime. Now, is that crime punishable by being murdered? I mean, or by being shot at? I won't say murdered because we don't know yet, but by being shot at, fleeing the scene? No, I do not agree with that. The only time a cop should shoot someone is when they are immediately under the threat of a gun, a weapon, or a weapon. Just a generalized thing, a weapon. If I am an immediate threat, I am going to take action on you, bro. You shouldn't be showing me this weapon. Plain and simple. I've seen traffic stops. There's a gun there, and boom, they start shooting off. What if the guy is allowed to have the gun? What if he has a weapon certificate or whatever you want to call it? You didn't bother to figure that out. No, you just said gun. You started open fire on this man. That is wild to me, bro. That is wild to me. So no.
Yeah. No, I think we're on the same page. Listen, guys, leave a comment. Again, we're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. This is going to be in the news in the week. We're going to have a topic. We're going to give our opinions. We're going to give our thoughts. We're not only going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about real life and what's going on in the world, and give our thoughts and our opinions. And if you guys agree or disagree, leave a comment below. I'm sure we'll comment below. We'll have a conversation with you. Again, we're here to have dialogue. We're here to have a conversation, right? So, yeah.
Rick, you touched up the Bears tattoo? That thing looking dark.
Oh, no, that's just the ink, man. It just shows you the difference between Massachusetts ink and Miami ink. I guess, that shit still look fresh.
Yeah, it looks fresh as hell.
It still looks like very clean and very like people tell me, did you get that shit yesterday? I'm like, nah, man, that shit's been it's almost 2 years now that I've had it, a year and a half, and look how clean it still looks, man.
Yeah,
It still
looking
looks
at the rest of your tats, and I'm like, damn,
yeah, like they're fading off.
Did he get touched up?
Yeah, man. But yeah. So yeah, man. Anything else on the slate, Jose, before we take off and give our people the sayonara for the week?
No. Only thing is, I know the schedule does come out on the
13th,
right?
14th.
It's a Wednesday.
I think it's a Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay. Do we go live and drop it then, or do we wait till Friday? What do you think?
I think Friday, because I gotta kind of again, I know my opponents. I think every team knows their opponents right now, but I need to see, huh?
Yeah, no, we know our opponents. Yeah,
I want to see where they land on the schedule because again, there's a big difference of playing. Again, I'm just going to use the Chief as an example. There's a difference between playing Chiefs in week 1 versus the Chiefs or Eagles in week 12.
Yeah.
So I want to see where everybody lands at and then kind of assess and be able to give my honest thoughts on it. So if we could shoot Friday, that would be great.
Okay. You don't have any any leaks, any official leaks so far?
In the sense of like for the week, no, I haven't checked. I haven't got anything that I've seen that like what week we're doing.
Okay.
I'm sure maybe coming Monday.
Yeah, I'm sure leaks will be dropping soon. But one leak that did drop, we have Commanders and Spain in week 11. We're gonna be playing the Commanders in Spain week 11. So that should be a good one for the
Commanders in Spain. That's going to be interesting.
Commanders and Dolphins in Spain, week 11. So that probably means we have a week 12 bye week, which is pretty good because it's pretty late in the week in the year. So give us some little bit of rest time before we go on our Super Bowl run. You know how that goes. Well, you don't know how.
100%. So man,
we're gonna see you guys Friday night. We're definitely gonna be on point this time. We're definitely gonna have the fucking graphics up. I apologize for that.
And I'm gonna charge my battery, and Jose's gonna call Comcast or AT&T, whoever the fuck he got over there, and get them straight and get them going.
Yeah, but we'll be back. Can't wait to talk to you guys again. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how we did. I know it was crap, but let us know anyways. We appreciate y'all. Rick, take us away.
From One Leg Loser Podcast, I'm your boy Rick, Bear Down Rick, to Jay, the producer. We thank you guys for joining us. On to next week, guys. See you guys later.
Peace.